Uh-oh, it's time, people. It's time to try Bead Maker, all the craze that has been happening for months and months and months and months. It seems like everyone and their mother use Bead Maker on their cars, on themselves, on their showers, on their knives, on their Christmas presents, and that has pretty much made me not want to use it, because it means that noobs think that they're smart. I'm just not into that. Without further ado, we're gonna be using Bead Maker. If you don't know what this is a topper, this is a drying aid, this is a last step protectant, whatever you wanna call it. What I usually use is a CarPro Ec2O, or I use ammo hydrate, or I use any sort of detail spray to dry the vehicle when I'm using the towel. So I usually blow off the vehicle and then I will spray whatever drying aid of my liking depending on the car. I have Polish Angel stuff for the M5, and then I have CarPro stuff for the M3 because that is a coating. So the Jeep does have Seacorts UK on it. I applied it at least a year ago, and I actually applied CarPro Gliss, and honestly it has not really held up. And I have tried to take care of it, but this thing has seen so many salty days. It's Salt Bay, and the protection is just not there. The sides are okay, but the hood is totally failing, and I don't know what the heck is going on. Maybe I screwed it up at some point, but today we're gonna be using Bead Maker. So this stuff was actually designed for plastics. You can put it on anything. You can put it on paint, plastic, windshield, sides, anything on a vehicle pretty much. The door sills will be fine. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I'm using the Jeep as the test subject because I put so much work into the M5, I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. So honestly, that's why I'm using the Jeep, and the Jeep is totally failing. As you guys can see, literally like water is sitting on the hood, and I'm very puzzled by that. So clearly something's going wrong. If you guys are interested, health is #1, flammability is 0, and physical hazard is 0. So you can pretty much drink this stuff and you'll be okay. So it says wash the car, obviously that's pretty clear. And then the first round, you're gonna be very liberal with it. Very liberal. Bernie Sanders over here. And I'm gonna spray some on my towel here. And this towel I'll put in the description box below. I actually think I got it from Esoteric in Ohio. So really, the first time using this, you're gonna be going through a lot of it. So everyone that I've watched Matt from Obsessed Garage, I've watched a few other guys, they apply it and they go through a lot. So that's why I got the bigger size. People are gonna recommend a gallon, I know, but I didn't wanna buy a gallon. I'm gonna flip this bad boy over. And essentially what we're doing is adding a layer of protection as we dry the vehicle, which is ideal because not only are you drying and adding a layer of protection, but the third thing that you're actually doing is creating some lubrication. So if there is a little bit of dirt, which there can be because there's a bunch of trees around, the product will hopefully reduce the chance of scratching because there's an extra little lubricating layer in there. If that makes sense. Hopefully it's not too nerdy for you guys, but that is the goal here. So far the towel works really well. Sometimes when you use drying aids, the towel actually doesn't pick up the water as well, but I hadn't blown this off yet. So it actually picked up all the water on here and it looks really good. So this says wait 8 hours for minimum of 8 hours to achieve maximum performance. So you probably won't see the extreme gloss right now. Obviously the hood looks pretty glossy because it was failing and now it has something on it, but we're gonna do the rest of the vehicle. Don't worry guys, I'm switching out towels. I used one for that and the same one for here, but I got a new one here. So probably like 5 to 7 towels of this size, 16 by 16, or you can use one of those huge ones if you want. Guys, I am such a terrible product reviewer. I forgot to mention one of the best things about this is it's so versatile. So the biggest benefit that a lot of guys like about Bead Maker is that you can apply it as a drying aid on a coating or a wax or sealant, where a lot of times when you have a wax or sealant, you're not going to be using the same topping agent as you would if you have a coating. So there's coating specific products like CarPro X2O or maybe CarPro Reload, something like that. This I can literally use on this coated Jeep, or I can use it on the M5, which has a wax and sealant combo. So that is one of the biggest benefits, if you guys didn't already know that, of Bead Maker, is being able to use it on pretty much any surface, glass, plastic. I'm about to do the door jams here, but this is very easy to use. It's very thin. You know, when you're using something like CarPro Reload or Adam's Garden Gloss or anything like that, that is sort of the same concept, it's a little more finicky, which is fine. You just have to work it and make sure you don't layer it too heavy or anything like that. But with this stuff is you pretty much can't put too much of it on. And if you do, it's very obvious and it spreads really thin. So what's nice is it's a thin liquid. It's not gonna clump up. It smells good, it's nice to work with. So far, you get the seal of approval. I've actually recommended this to a few guys that aren't really into detailing, but they wanna learn a little bit more. They're like, hey, what's cheap, what's easy, what's reliable, what's effective? And it seems like this is a decent place to start from. So if you guys are interested, I actually did buy this from Obsessed Garage, but there's plenty of other places you can buy it from. So, you know, if you're ever searching around, definitely go check it out. And there's a bunch of videos out there of people using Bead Maker, so I'm definitely not the only one. I'm late to the game on this one, but I kind of did that on purpose. So with that said, don't forget to comment below, like the video if it was informative. I know a bunch of guys were actually really excited to see the Bead Maker on the channel and sort of get my impressions, but I do like it. I think it's worth checking out. If you're in a situation like this, definitely check it out. And I will see you guys next time.